Hey everybody, so it's that time of year where I have to head up to the family cabin and put some boats away for the winter. And I want to devise a way to pick up the outboard motors off of a little tin boat, lift it up off the boat, store it in the corner of the boathouse, and take it easy on my back. It's not super heavy, they're about maybe 100 pounds tops. But you're in a boat that's moving, you have to lift it up on top of a dock, and I had a notion about trying to make a rolling hoist mechanism. So let me show you what I'm thinking about. I got a little mock-up here. All right, so imagine that this 2x4 is a joist in a boathouse. And down below here is water, and there's a boat, like the little tin boat. It's got a little outboard on it. So what I want to do is, using some sheet metal here, I've got a scrap from my local supplier, and some skateboard wheels that I got on Amazon. I'm going to make two plates, there we go, that mount to these wheels, hang down on either side of the ceiling joist. There'll be a hanger of some kind here, and then I have these ratcheting rope hoist, which I'll show you in a minute, so that I can lift up the motor off the boat, it hangs, and then this whole mechanism will just roll off to the corner of the boathouse, and then I can just lower it and prop it up into the corner. So let's have a look. I've got two boathouses to work on here. One's got 2x4 roof joists because they're engineered trusses. The other one has, I think, standard 2x10s. So one set of plates can be pretty short. The next ones will be longer. So I'm going to make two of these guys. I've got 4 wheels. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we have some 5/16 threaded rod here. That's going to go sandwich the wheels between the steel plates. And sometimes when I'm cutting threaded things, I like to put a nut on there, so if I cut the thread and inevitably damage it, I can back the nuts out over the damaged thread and straighten them out. So I've cut this end, and then if I can run a nut through it and off, then I can use this cut end again. It just sort of deburrs it right there at the end. Same with this piece here. There we go. Pretty good trick. All right, so the idea is I hang my hoist here, lift up the motor up here, slide this to the corner of the boathouse, and then I can lower my motor. So what I found here is what they call a rope hoist, or a ratcheting rope hoist that ratchets up wrap this end around the motor, lift it up, slide it across my rafter, and then there's a release button on this so that I can lower. Found this online, got a weight limit of 150 pounds. I don't know, the biggest outboard I'm going to lift is maybe 100 pounds, so that should be plenty. 1/8" steel, plenty. 5/16 threaded rod, plenty. This bolt, I think, is a 3/8. So I think we're good. I think what I want to do is I want to trim a bit of this. I'm just going to trim it down a little bit, make it a little more streamlined. I've got to travel with this in my carry-on tomorrow, We'll see how TSA likes that. I might nip the corners off here a little bit, make it a little lighter, and then maybe just lower this down so I have a little bit better access to this carabiner that's in here. So it hangs out a little bit more. So I'll maybe snip this down a little bit, bring it up. So I think I've got this spacing down pretty well here. I've got a nut washer on each side, and that means it can't pinch in on my 2x4. It seems to track pretty well. So I think I'll stick with that spacing. And when I put it together finally, I think I'll Loctite everything. It should be good to go. All right, so I've trimmed it down a little bit, a little sexier. Makes it a little lighter. And the idea slides over my roof joists. All right, so I've got this ratcheting hoist on it, and for now I've just hooked up to this fuel tank. And so the idea is you'll lift the item, roll the whole thing over to the corner, so here we are in the corner, and I would put an outboard motor just propped up in the upright there. And then there's a little lowering lever, and down on the ground. So that's the way that's supposed to work. Next season, hopefully I'll have a outboard that I can lift, bring off the beautiful lake. All right, later.